Typhoon Ambo hits the Philippines. Hello and welcome to the Philippines. We're going to discuss a number of different things here in this update. Tropical Storm Ambo. They're starting to refer to it as Yolanda Jr. And it is the first tropical storm, the first cyclone, the first typhoon of our storm season here in the Philippines area of responsibility. And it has been doing some major damage. Let's go down here, and it's been moving. I actually did a video last night and didn't have time to put it up, and a lot has changed since then, so I'm going to do a new one here. And this shows the track of the storm. Look how erratic these things are. Now, the Philippines area of responsibility is this dotted line around here. When storms come into this area, Philippines is responsible for tracking it and disseminating the information. They also changed the name. The international name is Vongfong. Everybody else calls it Vongfong. I'm not sure why or how or when it was decided. The Philippines always changes the name, and in this case it's Ambo. And they tend to be very erratic. Philippines gets about 20 tropical storms each year and that come into this area. Now, many of them do not reach landfall. They may bring some rain to different parts. Most of them always come in from this direction, which should give you some ideas about where you might not want to live. Very seldom do they hit Mindanao, this island down here, but they occasionally do. But Leyte, Samar got clobbered pretty good with this one. And this whole area here, the Philippine Sea, is very warm water. So oftentimes these storms, in fact, a couple of days ago, I listened to a weather forecaster, and he said, "Nah, it didn't look like it was going to turn into a storm." But what happens when they start picking up the moisture from these warm waters, they can very quickly turn into a very big storm. And anyway, this is coming instead of coming in, this is Cebu right here, Bohol Island. Instead of, this is, you got Leyte and Samar right here. So it's hit landfall. Actually, the eye of the storm has hit landfall, I think, 6 times as it's come up and out and up and out. And this is about where it's at now, up north of, that looks like it's almost, am I accurate to say it's up around north of Angeles area, I suspect. Subic Bay area, maybe. Forecast 24 hours. Tomorrow morning, it's suspected to be up Bosco, Batanes. That is the area. These islands just north of Luzon up here. This is the Batanes Islands up here. So, maximum sustained winds of 75 kilometers per hour. And 75 kilometers per hour is about the equivalent of 46 miles per hour, I believe. It was up around from 120 to 170 miles an hour yesterday, or kilometers per hour yesterday. 150 kilometers per hour is 93 miles per hour. I was in 1989. I was in Hurricane Hugo and was in Charlotte in the Carolinas, U.S., along the East Coast there, and we had, I think, about 92 miles an hour. And that was an amazing experience. The huge I-beams just twisted like pretzels, that were around the city. Of course, all electricity was out, and everybody was charging big bucks for water and ice. And here is windy.com. Some of you who have been following my channel for a while have been over here, and you have used it yourselves. And amazing site. You can go over here and you can put lots of different layers in here, And they have more layers. You can go down here and put in snowfall and waves, and just unbelievable amount of data that's available to us here. Um, Now, what's this? Airports. You just put all kinds of stuff in here. Webcams, temperature. You can put in temperature and click on a spot, and it'll give you the temperatures. Anyway, let's look over here. This is the Philippines, of course. Mindanao, the Visayas with Palawan over here, and Luzon. And the a day and a half ago or so, here's Cebu City here, Leyte here, and Samar. It came in and hit Samar here, and then went up the coast. The eye went up, and the eye went off the coast a bit, came back, and as I think they said 6 different times it hit landfall. But it looks like it's up. Zoom in here a little bit. It's up in the northern area right here now, it appears. And here they're calling Typhoon Ambo a Yolanda Jr. Yolanda was a super typhoon that hit the Philippines in 2013, did a huge amount of damage, and killed, I think, over 7,000 people. And a fella here is saying that in terms of infrastructure damage, I think it did more damage than Yolanda did. So it is a major. In fact, I read it is the largest first storm of the season, one of the largest first storms of the season in over 30 years. And yeah, here, November 2013, and then in 2013 they also had a major earthquake just off of Bohol that did major damage to a lot of the older churches in particular. And so anyway, I think there was over 140,000 people who had to be evacuated. At the same time, they are trying to quarantine for the virus, so that created additional risk. And this is from the Philippine Star. I've watched a little bit on television. All the discussion was in Filipino language, so I didn't catch a lot of that. But anyway, it is now on the north end of Luzon Island, and storm tracker there. It's up in this area right here, so this whole area is getting major rainfall right now. And part of the problem is landfalls, of course, damage to agriculture and homes. A lot of the homes are very poorly built. And here's the different wind signals that they have up: 61 to 120 kilometers per hour. 100, just like driving in your car, if you've got a speedometer that's on miles per hour, 62 miles per hour is 120 kilometers per hour. So 120 kilometers this year is 62 miles per hour winds. And there is that are included up there. And here I'm still at Phil Star, the Philippine Star Online. And there are a number of online newspapers you can go and get news from. And this is a bit of an update to the update I did yesterday. There have been some changes, and this is a fast-moving, a very slow-moving situation in many ways, and in some ways it's fast-moving because these governments change their mind. It comes out in the news that something is happening, and then you wake up in the morning and something else is happening. So sometimes I'm reluctant to put information up. But anyway, Cebu, which was going to go under modified, enhanced, what they call MECQ, modified enhanced community quarantine, is back under enhanced, not the modified. Most of the rest of Cebu is actually under, I believe, general quarantine. So they have a lifting of some of the restrictions now. So it really comes down to the individual areas. LGUs, local government units, have some discretion, and even sometimes, even if I don't know, sometimes maybe they don't even have the legal authorization. Uh, they do it anyway. They want to protect their little neighborhoods, their barangays, their villages, and they may lock them off to anybody from outside. So they have some discretion as well. But here, even as I'm saying that we are not under modified, here's the article that says it's still on modified. So which one is accurate? I think we're still on ECQ and not the modified here. But let me go down here to uh, to here. Gwendolyn Garcia, the governor of Cebu, everything. She is the governor of everything in Cebu province outside of Cebu City. Cebu City is an independent city governed by the mayor and his administration. Anyway, she is in the rest of the province outside of Cebu City. Pretty much is under general quarantine, and there's some interesting. Includes 44 municipalities and 6 component cities. And go down here and look at, has a population of about 3.2 million. I think there's about 4.6 million including Cebu City. And the death rate is actually very, 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 very low. This puts the death ratio at 3 deaths per 1 million residents based on the present situation. Their death count was 8 outside of Cebu City. So she says that we cannot treat this as a deadly virus. It is not. And there's a lot of evidence that very well be true. I may do a video about that. I've been watching a lot of doctors and virologists and all the people involved in those types of things. That information is not getting out to most of the mainstream, lamestream media, it seems. And it is primarily the very old who already have underlying health issues. And part of that reason, like in New York City, the mayor, governor there said that if somebody was in the hospital with the virus and they were let out of the hospital, they were going to be put into nursing homes. So he's taking all these sick people and putting them in nursing homes, and there's where the bulk of the people who are dying is dying, and a number of issues about that. And based on under the GCQ, restaurants will again be allowed to cater to 50% of their usual dine-in capacity. Malls and shopping are also allowed limited operations in accordance with the Department of Trade. Hotels, resorts, and other accommodation establishments under the province will also be allowed to accept bookings. But if you can accept bookings but there's no travel, that creates a problem. So we'll see where that goes. However, only one person will be allowed to book per room. And group activities, 10 or more people will be, so the person, your wife or girlfriend or boyfriend or child or whatever who is living with you now cannot be in the same room with you under these rules, apparently. Only one person will be allowed. Look closer. That's not really what it says. Only one person will be allowed to book per room. Well, that can be a bit confusing. One person always books the room. 2 people don't book the same room. So I take that to mean that only one person can be in each room. That's no comment. No comment from me. Gyms, fitness centers, sports recreation, bars, pubs, karaoke, swimming pools, and other leisure activities will also be disallowed. So those places are not ready to open. Work in government offices may return to their full workforce. However, this will still be subject to the discretion of the mayor. So, will the immigration? That's a big question for many of us. Will the immigration offices be opening? Don't know until we know. As soon as I know, I'll get in touch with you all. Entry of individuals from other parts of the country in the province of Cebu will remain prohibited. Which means you aren't going to book a room at a resort or a hotel outside of your part of the country. Curfew 10 a.m. What more? Curfew will be implemented 10 a.m. to 5 a.m. I think that means 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Sometimes the editing of these stories is a little bit off. Pregnant women and senior citizens will also be under 24-hour quarantine. No comment. Cebu City recorded 3 new positive cases yesterday, bringing the total to 1,702. Stay healthy and stay safe, and I'll see you next time.